All right, so we're in my side garage, my little makeshift boxing setup. Got a heavy bag, got a speed arm, a reflex bar. Double end bag. Got my pads, headgear, boxing gloves, jump rope. So pretty much almost every day, every other day, I do some type of drills in here. Whatever that might be. It might just be footwork, it might be just be shadow boxing, or just double end bag. But today I go through a circuit. My standard circuit would be jump rope. I do 60-second rounds of jump rope, 30 seconds off. I might do 6 rounds, which I just completed, and then I'll eventually move over to a little shadow boxing. I'll do various rounds, usually 2 minutes, 45 seconds off, or 30, maybe 3 or 4 rounds. Going double end bag, working that for a little while for a few rounds, usually 3 minutes on that, and then I'll hit the heavy bag for a little bit. And sometimes with the heavy bag, I've been primarily just practicing combinations, moving around the bag, getting the habit of moving. I'm very slow, so getting the habit of moving my feet more is hard for me to adopt after all the years of bodybuilding, just becoming just a sloth, being heavy all the time. So a lot of the traditional work that I'm doing now is what I've been advised to do by my boxing coach, and just basically working the basics. It's nothing fancy, nothing crazy. It's not like I'm gonna be looking like I know what I'm doing here. This is the beginning. This is what it usually is when somebody starts doing something new and they work into something over time and become more fluent at it and better. But this is what I've been doing. I've gotten a lot better since I first started, but still a long way to go. And that's really the name of the game and the journey, is to improve over time. Even if you do suck at the start, or you're not very good, being naturally good at something is not what many people are. So this is going to relate to that. Starting something new, getting into it, and sticking with it. So this is a boxing clock. So you have your work number here, and I can adjust it up to whatever I want it to be, 1 to 5 minutes, or 30 seconds to 9 minutes. Rest time can be anywhere from 30 seconds to 5 minutes. And that way I can adjust it on myself. If I want to do 2-minute rounds and 30 seconds rest, it'll beep, tell me when that minute's up. Then it'll beep again, let me know my rest's up, so I know to go back at it, so I can get that rhythm down, get the cardiovascular shape, and the training. It's very, very useful. So this is a double end bag. Still learning how to use it, getting better and better. But like the idea is to get movement and reaction time and try to hit combinations. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then be able to move, duck, and get the timing right. Move. It's not obviously designed to throw huge power shots. This is a little loose. I'll have to tighten up a little bit again. Obviously, the tighter it is, the shorter the distance, but you do want it to move to the point where you're able to slip and move, and that's what you try to kind of train your body to move and slip as it's coming back at you, and to be able to punch, and etc. But it's a lot better than it was. Still progression, and it will be interesting to see a few months doing this again, how much I improve. So I've got my heavy bag gloves. We'll hit the heavy bag. This is a 200-pound heavy bag. For me, what I use the heavy bag for is I just really try to practice my technique and power. I'm not setting it up to go balls out for 3 minutes and just crazy sets of combinations. I'm not there yet. I'm more or less practicing a few combinations, throwing them together, moving around the bag, getting my technique down, learning how to bring my arms back up to my face so I don't get punched in the face. So you'll see how I do that now. I will do short 1 minute rounds today to give the idea of what that looks like, and then we'll be off to the boxing gym. So I was just practicing 1-4, 1-2-3, or 1-2-3 with a 3 to a body shot. So, and throwing a little power into it. I'm not punching as hard as I can. I'm more just trying to 1, 2, 3, get the motion, the hips rotation, and build that as habit. Because just like starting anything new, when you're learning how to move and you get tired or you're under pressure, it all disappears. I practice the routine here, and then when I go do sparring drills and stuff like that, and I get tired, my coach will yell at me, stop me from doing what I'm doing and making the errors that are commonly seen if things aren't really motor memory. So that's what I'm trying to build. Motor memory takes repetition over and over and over again. So this is my dry erase board. I write some notes, things I need to work on. These are the combinations that I've been practicing, getting used to the transition from one to the other. But I kind of go through these in random sequence. Sometimes I might pick one, practice it over and over again, get the repetition down, like a 1-4, 1-4, or 1-2-3, and just repetition over and over again. That way it's fluent, it's fast, I get the snap, learn to move. But punching and combinations is a lot more full body things than people think. It's not just throwing your arm. So learned that the hard way the first few sessions, but now we're on to it. So this round I'm gonna slow it down and do other combinations. Not gonna be fast, gonna be worrying about just transitions and body movement. There you go. So that's, nothing crazy, simple. So it's practicing combinations. I was practicing 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Practicing the body movements. I could say it would have been way easier if I was starting this out weighing only 200 pounds. I started this out weighing 260. You can't move when you're that big. So as I was getting lighter and lighter, getting better, but those movement patterns with a big chest is difficult. It does get in the way, and the muscle mass does actually, it fatigues me faster. The more oxygen robbing muscle you have, the more out of breath you're gonna get quickly. That's one misconception. Muscle's great in that 0 to 90 seconds, but after 90 seconds, you get really tired really quickly. So you gotta preserve your energy and learn to finesse it, but getting better. That's it. All right, so this is a little cool boxing apparatus, gets you used to evading, ducking, and slipping. So this is the head shot. You know, you can call this whatever you want, but you punch, duck, whack, whack, block, whack, whack, boom, duck, evade, slip. So I'll give you a preview of what I do. I do this sometimes for 3 or 4 minute rounds, because as you get tired, you tend to duck less, and this thing catch you right in the face. It doesn't feel great. But that's kind of how you gotta get used to moving, punching, and moving. The punching bag and belt band bag, that doesn't hit back. This doesn't hit back either, but it's more or less reactive and one step closer to sparring, even though sparring's completely different. Whole nother animal. These are just the basics, okay? So I'll start the round clock and give you a preview of that. So you try to mix it up. It's predictable. Obviously, if you hit it this way, it's coming around that way. So the best part about doing this, I always do it last when I'm more fatigued. You're more fatigued, you're more likely to make an error. So I try to mix it up, hitting it both ways. Jab, 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 block, hit, hit. Well, there's no sequence, because there's no sequence in a boxing. If there is, it's predictable. Someone's gonna take you down. So I try to keep it as sporadic as possible in a fatigue state to get my mind used to moving and reacting. So this is my routine that I do on days that I'm not boxing at the gym with my coach, or my client friends not here on Sundays doing sparring stuff. I will do this anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour sometimes. 2 rounds of jump rope, to the double end bag, to the heavy bag, to the speed bar here. And that's generally what I do just for training and for cardio. I do light aerobics now to get more base aerobic capacity. Because I'll tell you, it's just like, I sparred for the first time a few times the last 2 weeks, and holy smokes, totally different ball game than doing level 15 on the stairs for 30 minutes. Level 15 on the stairs for 30 minutes is easy in comparison to sparring. I get very, very tired very quickly, so it shows I need to build much more of an anaerobic base in that type of cardiovascular conditioning, which will come. This is just getting the very, very basics down as a fine movement pattern, muscle memory, where it becomes second nature instead of having to worry about what I'm doing. And then sparring is applying it to a real life application. But it's totally different. Sparring is a whole other animal. Because you can hit a bag or do all this, doesn't translate into real sparring. But here it is, man. This is the start of something new I'm gonna continue to pursue, and we'll see how how much better I can get. And as I continue to drop the body weight, get leaner, get better cardiovascular shape. But it's good. It's very, very difficult. It's totally different. And many people are probably like, sometimes don't want to enter something new, because you start something new, you're at the bottom again. Just like I was at the bottom of bodybuilding in 2005, placing dead last in the bodybuilding show. Well, I'm there right now. And we'll see how the progression goes in the coming years.